Euromaxx highlights, and here's your host, Anne O'Donnell.
Hello and a very warm welcome to Euromaxx highlights. Let's have a look back at our favourite reports of the week. The nature of the beast. Portraits of the animal kingdom. Close shave, why retro barbers are making a comeback. And party marathon, seeing and being seen at the Hahnenkamm races. Well, if you think your pet is part human, or indeed maybe your pet himself thinks he's part human, then you're not alone. The Brit Tim Flack, an award-winning photographer, also sees the human nature in animals and captures their emotional states in his photography. Now, he has just published a new picture book, Evolution.
The relationship between humans and animals is a complex one. What distinguishes humans as a species, and how much animal is there inside of us? It's these questions that photographer Tim Flack explores in his work. The results are portraits that appear nearly human. Some seem to belong on the pages of a high-gloss advertisement. Many have appeared in important international publications, from National Geographic to the New York Times.
What I'm often wanting to do is place the animal, you might say, out of its context of a jungle, be it, or Sahara, or in this case, the rainforest, and place it against a neutral background so that we can explore what does that animal mean to you.
The photos require a great deal of preparation. Tim Flack takes most of them in his London studio. Today, 2 reptiles are taking part in the shoot. Animal handler Mark Amey has a lot of experience with dangerous animals, and he's been working with Flack for years. Today, he's brought along a Jackson's chameleon and a horned sand viper, an extremely poisonous snake from the Sahara.
Well, both are susceptible to high levels of stress. Vipers particularly, but if he starts striking all over the place and estivating or sidewinding, that's not such a bad thing because that's his defense, and then he'll settle. And once he's settled, that's when we're going to get the best shot.
A plastic model is used to help set up the lighting.
If you come in with it, he'll freak.
Chameleons are sensitive creatures. It's important not to place the animal under too much stress. Flack studies the animal's natural behavior during a test run, and then he adjusts his camera settings. He takes just a few photographs, searching for that one special moment.
This thing of not knowing quite what will happen and responding to it. I'm a great believer in the creative process. Although you may set up the framework and invite a particular animal with an idea in mind, the danger is being too locked into that. And it's really important to, in a sense, let things reveal themselves.
His latest book is called Evolution, and it's now also been released in Germany. It's a collection of his photography that retraces the animal kingdom from aquatic creatures to the great apes. Tim Flack has also had numerous solo exhibitions. 2 of his dog portraits have even graced stamps in Britain. He's also done work for major ad campaigns. He originally studied communication design before turning to art and photography.
I'm often playing with iconography in my studio work, often referencing either art or just a relationship to what is the popular or cultural reference to that subject matter.
Prior to Evolution, he'd released 3 books of his own photographs, including ones on horses and dogs. His portraits of bats are almost uncannily human. Other photos demonstrate how humans shape and manipulate animals.
What I'd like to achieve is to really be there as a conduit for as a visual conduit, you might say, a visual kind of catalyst for other voices to use it to look at some of the debates about how we manage animals in the human space, which I believe are some of the prominent questions that lie ahead of us, the conundrums of our own success as a species and what that throws up.
Tim Flack is always looking to capture layers of meaning. Like this snake, its scales enhanced to emphasize their primeval quality. His images let us imagine the emotions of animals and reveal the animal in all of us.
Well, Autobahn is an Istanbul-based interior design company with a love of all things German. A Turkish design duo founded Autobahn, and their work is heavily influenced by the Bauhaus style. It is a sleek look that is very much in demand right now. A photo book displaying a decade of their work has just been published. We caught up with them in their home city.
Furnishings that are understated and elegant, made of wood, leather and rattan. The creative team behind Autobahn give a modern twist to classic designs.
We have an important formula: form, function, and experience. Experience is very important because we don't just make individual pieces. Our goal is to give a special and individual character to entire buildings.
Autobahn is the work of Sefer Çalar and Sehan Özdemir. Although the name may sound German, the label isn't based in Munich or Berlin. Autobahn is headquartered in Istanbul. It's located in Beyoğlu, a creative district right on the Bosporus. Autobahn is one of Turkey's most successful design projects. They have 36 staff members working in their 400 square meter studio.
Sefer and I met in the 1990s at the Mimar Sinan Fine Arts University. I was studying architecture and Sefer was studying interior design. Our creative styles brought us together, and then we continued that work in our label Autobahn.
Their shop is located in Beşiktaş, one of Istanbul's upscale districts. A single chair can fetch upward of 4,000 euros. Some lamps go for well over 1,000 euros. Good taste comes with a price tag. Their top designs include the Bergère armchair in many variations. And the King lamp. Many of their designs have won prizes, including one from the design magazine Wallpaper. Autobahn draws inspiration from its name.
Autobahn stands for speed. That's what it symbolizes.
We've been influenced by German professions who've been shaping our concept of design, layout and architecture since the 1950s. The German school, Bauhaus, and even the band Kraftwerk. All those things helped inspire our name.
Autobahn's design philosophy is more elegant than radical. Their pieces can often be found in bars, restaurants, and hotels, all locations where a variety of tastes have to merge and coexist. They completely redesigned 2 hotels, the Bosporus and the Nişantaşı, from the lobby to the guest rooms. Although they have an international focus, the pair prefer living in Istanbul to trend-setting cities like London or New York.
Every city has its own special charm. Istanbul has always been a melting pot that brings together a variety of cultures, people and religions. It's a kind of chaos, but one we benefit from and draw on to become even more productive.
The fruits of their creative labors are the subject of a new book from the Gestalten Publishing House in Berlin. Over 320 pages, it's a survey of 10 years of Autobahn's history. Cafes and hotel rooms, complete rooms and exclusive one-off designs. All captured in panoramic photos and sketches.
We've designed more than 300 projects since 2003, and we've produced more than 80 products. It's been an incredibly creative and productive time. We wanted to document the first 10 years of Autobahn.
This year we'll see Autobahn tackling a major new project. They're developing tall wooden cocoons that will replace traditional walls in restaurants and lounges at Azerbaijan's International Airport in Baku.
People feel small in public buildings like airports because their needs are not being attended to. That's why we want to create social spaces that will give people that sense of comfort.
Autobahn, two rising stars who are still picking up speed.
Well, in many other countries, they're on all the street corners, but here in Germany, they had practically vanished, traditional barbershops. Now, though, there is a new trend going on here, the comeback of the beard. Bearing in mind it is the styled ones at that. At some old-school barbershops, they're starting now to pop up in trendy districts where you can have a straight razor shave and get those whiskers back in shape.
At home, it would just take a few minutes with an electric razor. But here, it's a delicate operation, requiring at least 20 minutes of calm and concentration. Men in German cities are increasingly rediscovering the wet shave traditionally offered by barbershops. Some get their hair cut at the same time, others just stop by for a shave.
You definitely can't do it as well at home, and you feel you've treated yourself to something. You can really feel the difference.
David Fechner's barbershop in Munich features 1930s furnishings and harks back to the days when men were gentlemen. The shop has been open for less than a year, but Fechner already gets up to 10 customers a day for his vintage shaves.
I love that era with the old furniture. And then when you consider that no one offers this service for men anymore, I think it's a really nice thing. I can tension the skin better and I work much more intensively than you would at home. I take more time and I can shape the beard much better.
And beards are in vogue more than ever before. Young men in particular have become increasingly keen on facial hair. They may opt for the full beard for a while, then change to designer stubble, with carefully defined contours, of course. So it's hardly surprising that expensive treatments and grooming rituals are growing in popularity too. The modern barber knows exactly what his customers want.
So what are we doing today?
It just needs tidying up. It's looking a bit wild.
No problem.
Customers with beards appear to feel more comfortable at David Fechner's barbershop than at a normal hairdresser.
Having a full beard is easy, you don't have to do much. But it's good if someone gives it a little attention.
In Berlin, Nicole Wieden's beauty salon has started offering a full treatment package for men with beards.
It's a kind
of wellness treatment for men that's very pleasant. It allows a man to keep his sense of masculinity while still enjoying some pampering.
Care products such as beard shampoo, grooming brushes and beard oil are coming back onto the market. They're all part of the 70-minute king-size package offered by Nicole Wieden's barber from New York. Straight razors are in such high demand that German manufacturer Berke is struggling to keep up with demand. Still, those new to the wet shave prefer to have an expert on the job.
The first time, they feel nervous. Second time, no. And when they notice how I work with the beard, how I put the charm, and when they see at the moment how I start to work with the blade, they get confident.
Customers pay between 20 and 78 euros for a personal grooming session at this Berlin barber's.
I come here once a week just for a little retrim. Then, once a month, I come for a complete hour-long treatment and haircut.
Another trend in Germany, women are increasingly treating their menfolk to a visit to the vintage barber ahead of a special occasion. Scruffy is so yesterday.
Now, Euromax reporters covered the legendary Han Kam skiing competition for us that finished up last week in Kitzbühel. It boasts one of the most grueling downhill winter slopes, so it's no surprise at all that the après-ski events are equally as popular there. In fact, this was the competition that caught our attention. Whose party was the best organised and which attracted the most celebrities? So we went party hopping in Tyrol.
With a gourmet gala dinner followed by a variety show, the Kitz race party was certainly among the favourites for title of Best Bash at Kitzbühel. And there was lots of great food.
Fabulous. I can't complain. As long as the food's hot, everything's great.
It's very glamorous, isn't it? I'm feeling a bit underdressed. I forgot to pack a tie. But it's, you know, it's a sexy celebration of people having a good time, celebrating this amazing race here, the great athletes that have been out performing.
The Han Kam downhill counts as the toughest race on the Alpine World Cup circuit. Around 90,000 people converged on Kitzbühel, Austria for the event. Competitors took the strife course at over 140 kilometers an hour. An extreme challenge, even for the winner, Hannes Reichelt. Celebrity guests also took to the slopes in the Kitz Charity Trophy event before the evening of partying began. Hollywood star Arnold Schwarzenegger also made an appearance. It takes the chef all year to plan the menus for the Kitz race party.
We look for what's new this year, what the latest trends are. We take it from there and develop something special for Kitzbühel.
The Tyrolean town is tiny, but when it's party time, the competition is fierce. Veal sausage producer Tony Hollenberger has been throwing his veal sausage parties in the Stangelwirt Hotel's rustic surroundings for 20 years now.
This is a simple, homey, cozy get-together. You don't need an expensive menu with lots of courses. There's veal sausage, wheat beer, and you party with your friends.
It's the first time I've ever eaten veal sausage. It's very tasty.
It's original, it's a tradition, and it wasn't made up just for fun. An authentic tradition comes to life here. The young people are in good spirits.
Meanwhile, at a party at the Hotel Sortena, British pop star James Blunt was entertaining the crowd. Here, Chef Jürgen Bartel is in charge of the kitchen. He uses produce from the region, such as Tyrolean veal. His specialty is red beet ravioli.
You know, I'm an ex-army, I eat everything. Very happy to. And you know, also, I tour the world. The thing I really enjoy is trying local food.
Pasta's always ahead and red beets are healthy, so this is just right for an athlete.
I've never had hot beetroot before in pasta, so the food is more important than anything. I will just smell the food from a mile away and I'm there.
The Kitz race party, meanwhile, was going full tilt. The menu was designed to fit in with the location.
It's all very brightly colored. It's all about having fun. And that goes for everything from the setup of the tent here to each and every dish we serve.
One item on the menu was variations on golden beets.
I'll try it, as long as he doesn't serve red beets.
The sheer numbers of celebrity guests made this year's Kitz race party a record setter. 1,200 people reveled well into the wee hours of the morning.
Records are enjoying a comeback, and not just for their retro sound. The latest trend that has hipsters in a spin is eyewear made out of vinyl, a creation by Zach Tipton, and it all started off in his dad's garage. It was there that his father stored his old record collection, and where Zach came up with the idea to recycle records as a new and fashionable product. We visited the pioneer of Upcycled in Budapest.
Zach Tipton puts a new spin on records nobody listens to anymore. But his vinyl isn't for the ears, but for the eyes. Vinyl eyeglass frames. They're in the groove, literally. The models carry famous names from music: Jackson, Lennon and Miles. They're visual aids and sun protection. They're the recycled frames of the Vinylize brand, and they're more than just a fashion statement.
Every time somebody puts on the frame, they know what they're wearing, and I hope it makes them behave in a more environmentally responsible fashion, you know, and when they think that something that they're wearing is inspired by that, then it'll influence their behavior.
Zach Tipton's studio in Budapest is stacked full of old phonograph records. When laminated and cut out with a jigsaw, they become eyeglass frames. Every frame is made here by hand, just as the first model was in the year 2000.
I wanted to make some frames out of a different material than metal, and I was in the workshop and I kind of looked over in the corner and I saw my father's record collection, and I was like, aha, why don't I just try making them out of that? And I took a couple and glued them up and cut them out, and then that's how the idea was born.
Zach Tipton grew up in the United States, but since 2004 he's been designing and producing in Hungary, his mother's home country. Now he's got 15 employees to help him. He finds his raw material in various record stores around the Hungarian capital. Zach Tipton is also a record collector in private. For his eyewear, he generally takes the leftover stock on the bottom shelf.
If it's not coming from here, it'll come from old distributors that went out of business. They couldn't sell the records, the market collapsed, factories went out of business, and they can't send them back for recycling. So these are tens of thousands of records just sitting in warehouses.
A few hardcore vinyl fans tend to view Tipton's designs with skepticism.
I'm not too keen on it. I like records, and I think records should be listened to, or maybe hang them up on a wall. I find it a bit morbid to make things out of them.
Other music fans are enchanted with the idea. Among them, Elton John, Hollywood star Michael Madsen, rapper Flo Rida, the band 30 Seconds to Mars, and American movie director Quentin Tarantino. Music stars are both customers and inspiration for the frames.
What we like to do is just take a musician and examine the history that he lived in, what kind of style he wore, or if we were to make Jimi Hendrix a frame, how would that frame look? Would Jimi Hendrix wear this, or would Jim Morrison wear this frame?
Irish singer-songwriter Bono has ordered a set of frames. Zach Tipton picked out a very special record as his raw material.
It's a vinyl that was pressed in the 70s, and he went to this concert that collected funds for Amnesty International, and he attended this in June of 1979, and the research I did showed that he was very influenced by this.
Zach Tipton's company sells as many as 500 frames a month to customers from around the world. The frames start at €300. The cases, also made of vinyl, are included, and a spectacle stand.
Sometimes people get really upset because of the cultural damage. Hey, you're destroying great music, and what about these artists and all that? But people have to realize that just like books or anything that society creates, not every one of them is going to be a masterpiece culturally. Not every book is going to become a classical piece. Same with vinyl.
Zach Tipton has found a lucrative new use for old and unwanted vinyl and given a whole new meaning to the word groovy.
That was some of our favourite highlights of the week, and that is it from me, Anne O'Donnell, and the rest of the Euromax crew for today. Catch up with us online for more information. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.